Hi, 3 and 4-year-old leaders. We're preparing for February 24th. This week, we are continuing our series Goal and looking at what is God like. God is holy, good, and loving. And I think it's so important for us to focus on all three of those with kids. That God alone can be holy, that he is good and that he has good things in mind. Even when we see crazy things happening around Moses, God has good in mind, and that he is loving. And all of this is so that no one perishes without a relationship with God, that they find Jesus and are able to have that relationship restored. So, our story this week, we're going to continue in the life of Moses. In fact, through this whole series, we will finish up with Moses. And this week, Moses is taking care of the Israelites. And remember, they have been grumbly, fussy people. And he every day has to sit in front of a group of people and hear their complaints with each other, with the circumstances, with everything. And he's getting a little overwhelmed, as you can imagine. And his father-in-law, Jethro, comes in and helps him organize, essentially, small groups. He helps Moses find other people who can help build those relationships with the Israelites and take care of those needs. And then Moses can be about taking care of the bigger needs. So hopefully you see that that's how Parkway Church functions and can help help direct kids to show them that that's how we do things, that not that we all do things to take care of the church and take care of each other. So your social activity for this series is called Follow Moses. It's kind of like a follow the leader thing. So appoint somebody as Moses within your group, and then the kids are supposed to follow them around and do exactly what they're doing. Now, if you have one kid who's particularly silly and maybe a little bit brash, you could help redirect that. But also, you may want to give them some examples. So maybe you want to be, or get your teen helper to be Moses first, and the kids have to follow and do what they are doing. And really, remember, this social activity is so that kids are learning to relate to each other, to you in a new way, so that you have the opportunity to talk to them and share Jesus with them later. Then in small group time, you have a activity. And your activity today has these little cards like this. You have several sets of them. So you really only need one set, but in case you need to break up and have a very large group of kids, you don't have to use both sets. Or I think some bags have 3 or 4 sets. So what you're going to do is take those and fold them up and put them in the bucket provided in your room. And then you're going to appoint a kid as the judge or the small group leader. And so the small group leader is going to decide what to do with these different scenarios. So what they do is, you could set it up to make it look like a judge if you want to. The kids will probably have a whole lot of fun with that. So set up a chair and put 2 helpers next to them, one on their right and one on their left. And when you're going to take a card and read it to the kid, and the judge has to decide what to do about it. So let me give you an example of a scenario that's on the card. Finley doesn't like the sweater that his grandma gave him for Christmas. What should Finley do? And so the judge is going to help process that information. As you keep talking about this, talk about how sometimes when you guys have conversations in small group, you help the kids process and think through things, that you don't have to go to Pastor Mike or Pastor Kim or Pastor Russell all of the time to get answers, or even to me as the director of children's ministry. You don't have to go to me to get answers, that you can help take care of kids and their needs as well. And maybe point out other people that they could trust and do that with. Then your memory verse is Matthew 22, verses 37 through 38. Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, like your body, and with all of your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. And if it works for your kids to hug each other, let them hug each other. If not, they can just give themselves a big hug. And you're going to know what kids can handle hugging each other and walking around hugging each other. And then you have a coloring page that the kids can do while they're with you, or you can send it home with them. Totally up to you. It's really, the reason we provide these coloring pages is so the kids do have something to take home, so that families know that we did talk about the Bible while they're with us. If you don't get it colored during the small group time, that's okay. It really is meant to just send home, and they can work on that at home, and hopefully it sparks a discussion while they're at home. What you're doing is building relationships with kids so that you get the chance to share Jesus with them, help them grow, and be like Jethro's suggestion. And so thank you so much for leading small groups and loving on kids. If you guys ever need anything, please feel free to reach out to me.